ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, stop that. Stop fighting. You're lucky your mother's not here. Welcome to the episode 141 of the Spearhead Sonny's podcast. I'm your host, Lewis Spears, and we're currently in the creative renaissance of my online career, all right? Who the fuck am I? What have I done? I'll tell you what I've done. 3 weeks, 5 videos, 4 podcasts, and I've been guests on shit, and I've done fucking what? Like 8 radio episodes? It's all happening, you cunts. I told you. You didn't believe me. Oh, yeah? Oh, you're going to upload videos, are you? Yeah, I've heard that before. And you know what? Fair enough. There was literally zero reason to believe that I would ever stick to this consistent. I can't even say consistent. I almost said constituency. That's how much of a fucking idiot I am. I pledge that from the start of 2019, I will release constituency content. And all you cunts are going to go, oh yeah, was he going to become a politician and talk about the area that he lives in? No, consistent. Right? That's what I'm doing. That's the fucking plan. And it's working well, dude. You know what I've done? You know what I've done that's really enabled me to do this? I've lowered my standards. And I've stopped trying so hard. And from doing that, it's made my content better. Because instead of going, oh, that idea's not good enough, I'm not going to do it. I've just started doing shit and trying to make good stuff rather than trying to make something that's perfect from the minute I conceive the idea. And it's working, man. This podcast, I haven't planned this shit. This episode, Actually, I have quite a few notes. I was going to say I don't have any notes. I got so many notes, man. Oh, you know what I did? This is freaked me out, man. The other day, have you ever accidentally stepped into someone else's world and just become like a different person for like an hour or something? Like just completely changed who you are and become somebody else. I did that the other week, man. I became a different human. Like I stopped being Lewis Spears for a moment and I stepped into the shoes of someone else completely different. What I did, I was in a city. I was going to do an interview for a podcast that'll be out at some point. I'll let you know. And before the interview, I wanted food. So I went to this sushi joint that I really like. It's really busy. There's always a fucking line. And it's confusing as hell. And nobody understands how the fuck to get their food. What you do is there's a window. And you go, yeah, can I get the tuna and the avocado? And then can I get a crispy chicken? And then the Asian guy goes, oh yeah, fucking white guy. Of course he wants the crispy chicken. That's not even real sushi. That's just basically a sandwich, you fucking destroyer of my culture. And then I go, oh yeah, can I get a fucking teriyaki chicken or whatever? You know, you do that. So anyway, what did I got white as shit ever. I got 2 crispy chicken, I got 2 avocado. I was like, yeah, can I get the chicken sandwich and the fucking avocado because I don't want a home loan? I did that, right? And then what happens is they put it in the fucking thing and then they go, around the counter, you got to pay. And then, so you line up to order your food and then there's like a separate line to pay and it's handled by 2 different Japanese chicks, right? So one Japanese chick, she picks out your sandwich and then the other Japanese chick, she makes you pay for it. And because I don't pay attention to anything, every time I go there, they have like this wall and this sign for their sushi place, and the sign is filled up with little soy sauce fish. And I reckon there's got to be thousands of them in there because it's like from the ground to the roof. So it's like twice as big as me, just full of these little soy sauce fish. And every time I go there, when I should be listening out for like my order to come and pay, instead I'm thinking, what would happen if I like smashed the sign? You know, like where would all those little soy fish go? Like if you just walked up with a hammer and you just smashed like the bottom corner of it, would all those little fucking soy fishies just go everywhere and then they'd have to clean it up? And then I start thinking like, oh, how long have those soy fishies been in there? And does soy sauce go off? Because you know when like, if you ever leave mincemeat in your fridge, if it starts to go off, like the container starts to expand, And then, like, have you ever thrown out, like, mincemeat that's gone off, like it's 1 or 2 days old? It's, like, really fat, and if you poke it, all of the smell of the rotting food just enters the atmosphere. Does that happen with soy sauce? What a dumb thing. I'm going to search, can soy sauce go off? Because it gets me thinking, like, every time I'm standing in line, I either think about what would happen if I smashed the glass and made the soy fishies go everywhere. And then I'm also thinking, how long have they been in there? And are they going to explode one day? Can soy sauce go off? I mean, isn't it just fucking salt and water? My 3 Japanese listeners just turned off the podcast then. Fucking uncultured white cunt thinks soy sauce is just salt and water. I don't know, man. That's what it tastes like. Oh, I've got no fucking internet in this warehouse. This personal hotspot. Dude, this is so not necessary for the end of this. Oh, because my Bluetooth is off. Well, fucking, why is it off? How do I connect here? Hey, guys. Welcome to episode 141 of the Spearhead Sundays podcast. 70% average content, 30% Lewis trying to connect to the fucking internet or find his asthma inhaler. You're welcome. 5 stars on iTunes, please. All right. Can soy sauce go bad? Ah. It deteriorates over time. Basically, what I want to know is if well, those little fishies, will they ever explode? Its quality may not be great. It should be tasty for about a year or 2. But its quality might not be that great. Okay, so that's great. So I only have to wait until like 2020 for those fish to start exploding. That'll be good. And then, man, that little sign, instead of being full up with like little soy fishies, it'll just be full of like really stinky off soy sauce and empty exploded soy fish packets. And that's when I'll run up with a hammer and just flood their restaurant with disgusting decade-old soy sauce. That's what I'm going to do. What's he talking about this for? Oh, yeah, I stepped into someone else's shoes, right? So I'm fucking in line at this sushi joint, and they're calling out everyone's things. I'm thinking about the fish. How long has it been in there? Would I need a regular hammer or a sledgehammer to smash this thing? And then this woman, she like yells out, and she makes eye contact with me. And I don't know why I assumed that she would know who I am, because she didn't serve me. But she looked at me, and she yelled out something, and she was holding up a big sushi box with 4 sushi rolls in it. And so I was like, oh, there's 4. That must be mine. So I walked up, and I paid for it, and I walked away. And then I was walking to this interview. I didn't check if I had the correct order. I just walked away, and then I started walking down the street, and then I got out one of the sushi rolls, and I just put it directly in my mouth. And I didn't even check if it was what I wanted. You know, I didn't get the right order. I started eating this sushi, and it was like a spicy, and I didn't do. It wasn't like really spicy. It was just like enough, you know? And I'm eating this fucking roll, and there was 2 spicy ones, and then there were 2 like prawn ones. Like the flavors didn't match together. And I'm eating this shit, and I'm getting like a little bit pissed off because I got the wrong order. All I wanted was my fucking white boy chicken sandwich and avocado home loan rolls. That's what I wanted. But instead I got like this fucking spicy thing and then this prawn thing. And it just made me, I just stepped into someone else's world, and I started to think about like the type of person who gets like the really spicy sushi rolls. And I just thought, you know, like they're like anyone who eats spicy sushi on the way to work, you know, they're like a little bit racist. You know, like not full on, but they're like every now and then they'll catch themselves thinking, oh, fucking, of course the fucking Greek guy is speeding. You know, like they're not, I'm just saying, like there's no way you can have 2 spicy sushi rolls and then 2 prawn ones and not be like a little bit racist and unhappy with your life. There's no way that a happy, balanced person eats that shit. And I'm just throwing out wild generalizations, but I got halfway through this roll, and it just got me thinking, you know, I'd fucking hate anyone that was different if I was making myself eat this shit. This shit's making me angry, dude. If you eat spicy food, you're an angry person. Why do you think all these fucking Latinas and Mexican chicks are like always raging on Twitter and like why do you think it's a meme that Latino girls are abusive? Don't you think that's a fucked up meme? Like, wow, I'm a fiery Latino girl. It's like, no, Susan, you're an abusive girlfriend. Your boyfriend came into work today with a black eye. That's not because you're spontaneous. It's because you're a giant cunt who punched him in the head because he didn't buy you flowers. And I reckon that's why that meme's around, dude. That's why Latino girls are nuts, because when they were growing up, they had to eat spicy food. Huh? I don't know where I'm going with this. The point is, guys, I really want to smash that fucking sign with a hammer. And if I was eating spicy food every day, I probably would have already smashed it. But because I'm eating fucking chicken sandwich rolls instead, I'm not. You're welcome. Random sushi joint. Oh, what else did I want to talk about today? Oh, that's right. We just finished up radio for the year. I think we'll be coming back late January, early February. We're having a break, but because we did like 8 shows in a row and we filmed all of the shows, we'll have videos coming out once a week on Facebook and the Luke and Lewis YouTube channel, which is cool. But dude, I really hurt myself doing some fucking stupid Jeans to 2019 challenge for the show. Sorry if I just bumped the mic there. As you guys know, it's Jeans to 2019. I will not be wearing fucking shorts. I look ridiculous in them. It doesn't matter how hot it gets. I'm going to stay in my jeans. Ironically, I don't know if you can listen, but it's currently raining. It's the perfect jeans weather at the moment. I'm not backing down at all. So what we did for the radio, we'd be doing a bunch of challenges to try and get me to break. Luke's been making me do shit in jeans that you just wouldn't normally do. So what we did is we went to a personal trainer, and you can hear this all play out on the show, or you can stay here and hear the explicit version. We went to this personal trainer, right? And he was a great guy, fucking really nice dude. It was like Revolution Fitness or some shit. Shout out to Daz. It's in South Melbourne. I don't know. I probably said that wrong, but hey, you know, he wanted to plug on the radio. I don't think you want to plug here. Get a whole bunch of lonely virgins showing up at your personal training gym, scaring off the women clients, and then you'd have like 3 fucking lesbians show up in denim vests, being like, where are the fucking girls? Because that's my audience. It's like virgins and lesbians wearing denim. And then one lad with a knife that he wouldn't put away, you know. Like, he'd show up to the gym. He'd be like, all right, it's time to do some star jumps and some burpees. He's like, all right, brothers, but I'm not fucking taking my knife out of my shorts. And every fucking push-up he does, the knife falls out. He just shoves it back in. Went to his personal training place. And, dude, I can't... How fucking funny would a fucking lad be at the gym, dude? Getting personal trained. It's like, all right, man, I want to see you do 30 push-ups. Well, fuck off, dog. I ain't doing nothing. I'm not doing nothing, bro. He's got a Gatorade bong. Fuck off. He's like, I want to see you do 30 push-ups. Fuck off, dog. I want to see you do 30, but fuck off, cunt. Stop. Fuck off. I don't tell you what to do. Why you tell me what to do? Fuck off, you dog. I'm not going to go running on the treadmill. I'll crease my fucking new TNs, bros. I just stole these off an 11-year-old. They don't even properly fucking fit my feet. Now you want me to run in them? What's your problem? You're a fucking dog. And then he just puts on headphones and listens to Don't Fuck With Cursor, and then smokes a billy in the middle of the gym. And the personal trainer's just standing there. And you know what would be funny? Is the personal trainer and the lad would be pretty much wearing the same outfit. What am I saying? Oh yeah, I went to this gym, right? So, funny idea. Oh, let's see if Lewis can do a workout in jeans, okay? I can't remember if I've told this story. Maybe I have. I know we've done it on radio, but we're doing it here. Like, let's see if Lewis can do a workout in jeans, right? That's a funny idea, whatever. We go there, and basically the producers told the trainer, oh, just give him a workout that'll absolutely fuck him in, like, half an hour because that's all we have before we go live on air, right? And he's like, okay. So he goes, oh, I want you to do 10 calories on the exercise bike. I want you to do 10 squats. And then he put me on this step up thing that was like just below my waist, so quite high. And he goes, I want you to do these step ups. So you step up with one leg, you step down with the other leg, and then you swap. And I was like, oh, that sounds fucking really easy. And then he goes, and I want you to do it while you're wearing this weight vest, 20 kilo weight vest. And I'm so stupid. I was like, oh yeah, I can do that. Like, when I get in the mood to make comedy, nothing else matters. Like, so often I'll just find myself editing or filming a video and then I realize I haven't eaten for 8 hours. So if someone gives me like a physical challenge, but then they go, oh no, don't worry, the challenge is funny, I reckon I could break a couple world records. Like, I'm that fucking single-minded and stupid that I didn't realize when I was doing this jeans workout how fucking hard it was until I really hurt myself. Because I'm like, oh, it's funny, I could do it. If it's funny, I'll do it. So I put on this 20 kilo weight vest. And look, it doesn't sound hard, guys. When he strapped this thing on me, it made it 10 times harder just to breathe. Right? And then obviously we're filming, cameras are rolling. So me and Luca, we're being funny. And I kind of go, do you get all of your clients to wear the weight vest? Because he puts it on me and I just feel like this. I feel myself get 20 kilos heavier. And I used to be a personal trainer. So I was like, well, what the fuck? This is really hard. But this is his gym. So maybe this is just what he does. I was like, do you get your other clients to wear weight vests? And he goes, yeah, man. Everyone here wears weight vests. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I'm like, but do you get him to do it on their first time? And he goes, yeah, dude. And he was so convincing that I believed him. Even though there were fucking 15 other people in his fucking gym. None of them were wearing weight vests. And all of them were jacked. And they were working out just fine without that shit. But I'm so stupid. I'm like, oh yeah, geez, in 2019, I'll wear a fucking weight vest. No worries. So he gets me going through this circuit. The first one was easy. The second one was fucking hard. And then the third one, I started to die. But I don't think my brain realized this. Only my body did. Because I was like, hey, it's funny. I'll go through all the 10 rounds to prove my comedic point. Right? I get to round 3. A third of the way into it. I've done so 20 calories on the bike. I've done 20 squats. And I've done 20 step-ups. Not that many until you've done it with a fucking 20 kilo weight vest on, right? And Luke is laughing at me at how much I'm dying. And he is also a fucking idiot, and he thinks it's the jeans too. He's like, oh, just take the jeans off, it'll be easier. And by this time in the workout, I've worked out it has nothing to do with the jeans. Working out in jeans is easy. It's just a little bit hotter. It's not that hard. Working out with a 20 kilo weight vest, that'll kill you. You know? Like, I reckon even if two of the most beautiful women in the planet were like, hey, let's have a threesome. And I'd be like, what's the catch? And they go, you have to wear this 20 kilo weight vest. I'd be like, nah. Like now I'd be like, nah, too hard. Fuck that. So I'm at round 3. And at this point I've worked out it's the weight vest. I can't do it in the fucking vest. It has nothing to do with the jeans. And then Luke's like, nah, man, it's the jeans, because he's stupid too. And then I'm like, I get in this competitive thing of like, oh, well, I have to finish the whole workout because otherwise I'll fail. And then that means that maybe you can't do everything in jeans. So I'm like, no, I'll just finish the workout and I'll deal with it, okay? And then I step up on this thing. This is the 3rd round. I'm doing the step-ups, the one-legged step-ups. I step up. Really hard, really difficult. Lungs are burning, right? Knees weak, mum's spaghetti. I'm ready to drop bombs. There was vomit on my pussy already, right? And then I step up on the thing and I get up and then it's time for me to let myself down. And what happened was, it's hard to explain. So I stepped up with one leg, right? And then I start to step down. I start to lower my body down. And halfway down, my leg, my whole quad, the whole top half of my leg, it doesn't fail, it just completely locks. Like it didn't, I couldn't push myself up. I couldn't let myself down. It just full on fucking locked. Didn't move. Like I just froze. And then I start trying to lower myself down on this big step and I can't even move it. So I realize, oh, I can't move my right leg. I'm going to have to tip and like catch myself on my left leg from a height while I'm wearing a 20-kilo weight vest. So I start to fall. Everyone goes, oh, fuck. And then I land on my left leg, and the momentum of me falling from this height, I end up slamming my side into the squat rack, which has all of those like poles sticking out of it to put weights on. There were no weights on it, so this fucking pole just went straight into the side of my ribs. I like slammed into it. You can see in the video, which we'll probably put up next week or something, it fucking caned, dude. It hurt so much. And from then on, the personal trainer was much nicer to me because he didn't get me to sign a personal injury release form. So he fucking freaked out before he was playing the role of the hard-ass personal trainer. But then I fucking fell off, smashed it into the weights. The whole gym stopped to stare at me. And he was just like, all right, you can do the rest of the workout without the vest. Let's take it off. All right, let's go. You're all right, man. Please don't sue. It was fucking hilarious. And then the next day I was fine. I had this big cut on my ribs. I still have the scar, I think. It's not a scar. It's more of a scab. I don't think it'll scar, but it's still there, the mark. And the next day I was fine, but then fucking 3 days after that I woke up and I could hardly breathe, man. Like I couldn't stand up straight without really hurting that area of my ribs. I'm still feeling it. Like if I stretch, I can still really feel it there. I think I've bruised the fucking bones. But you know what? It was all worth it because it turns out you can do anything in jeans, but you can't fucking do a thing when wearing a 20-kilo vest. It made me realize, Dragon Ball Z is not that realistic. If you go into the fucking 10 times gravity chamber, I'm pretty sure you wouldn't even be able to breathe, let alone do a push-up and do a Kamehameha. There's no way you could do that. I couldn't go Super Saiyan in a fucking gravity chamber. I don't think I could even breathe. Dude, could you imagine doing a shit in a 10 times gravity chamber? I wonder if... How does a 10 times gravity chamber work, right? Because if you're in there to train your body, I'm thinking the most effective way would be to have gravity pushing in on all sides of you, like up, down, like 3D gravity, instead of just pulling you down. If you really want to get strong, you want it to be, what am I saying, 3D gravity? Is that how gravity works now, or does gravity only pull down? Jazz is yelling shit out. Jazz is here listening to how fucking stupid I am. It just pulls down.
You're so dumb, Lewis.
I'm not that dumb.
You're so... 3D gravity.
What do you mean?
You're so dumb.
No, but gravity can be 3D.
If gravity was 3D, we would implode.
Come here and talk to me about this. I don't understand it. Isn't gravity already 3D? Because if I move if I move my hand up, gravity wants me to pull it down, right?
So then where is gravity pulling you?
Down. But it's also kind of 3D, isn't it? Because it's like, okay, well then 3D gravity, because this is my theory, right? I think if there was, in the 10 times gravity chamber, if it was 10 times pulling down, that's pretty good. But if it was 3D gravity pushing on all sides, that'd make you stronger.
No, that would make you implode.
How would that make you implode?
You would be crushed. Your bones wouldn't be able to hold the weight.
No, I'm talking if I'm a Saiyan, idiot. Hasn't watched Dragon Ball Z. If I was a Saiyan...
Dragon Ball Z.
Okay, well, let's say human. If there was like 2 times gravity, but it was 3D.
You would just weigh double what you weigh now and your muscles wouldn't be... Why 3D? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm saying that...
Okay, for gravity...
So gravity for me, right? Gravity in Earth, that doesn't make it harder to breathe.
Okay.
I'm talking if
Okay.
gravity's pushing down
Lewis.
and to the left.
Lewis,
What?
do you know how gravity works?
Yeah, because we're fucking spinning.
No.
And so we go on the ground.
It's everything has a gravitational pull. So you have a gravitational pull.
Yeah.
I have a gravitational pull. Gravity is 3D.
And let me tell you, some fucking fatties have a big gravitational pull, if you know what I mean.
But we only feel the
I can't see
gravity.
it. Yeah.
We only feel the gravity of the Earth going down because the Earth is the biggest thing that we're near. That's
Yeah.
why the moon has a gravitational pull that causes the tides.
I know that, but it's not a 3D gravitational
Well,
pull.
it is 3D. You just nothing else is big enough to notice it.
So what you're saying is if we were in the middle of the Earth, then gravity would
So
truly be 3D.
that's why you float on the moon because it's so much smaller. So the
Yeah, I know
so
that.
if we go to a planet that's bigger than Earth, then that gravitational pull you're gonna
But
weigh
it
more
still wouldn't be 3D!
than. It is 3D. Gravity is. It is. It just you don't feel it. For it to be 3D, you would have to weigh 1,000,000 times more for
Yeah.
this 3D gravity to exist. But
Look.
Lewis, you're not a scientist.
What I'm trying to say is if gravity was 3D and you were in a 10 times 3D gravity chamber and you did a shit, instead of just hitting the ground really hard, the poo would exit your asshole and immediately compact. And then you could play golf with it.
But if the poo's compacting, don't you see that you would be crushed? You wouldn't
No,
do this
because
shit
I'm
'cause you
in there because I'm training to get stronger.
Oh,
Because
I
I'm a
forgot, I
Saiyan.
forgot that you're saying.
Because I'm a Saiyan.
Okay.
Don't you know anything about science, you fucking
Oh my
idiot?
God.
Look at this idiot. Doesn't understand 3D gravity.
Okay, I'm moving. You're so dumb.
I'm not dumb. You just don't understand 3D gravity and introspective science. Alright. What else do I want to talk about? I have this note here that says super long YouTube videos about abusive parents. I have no idea. Oh, that's what that is. Have you guys seen this? Like, I don't know, it's like this new category that's come up on YouTube. It's kind of like ASMR, but not really. It's like creating a mood. It's like, you know how you can just listen to, you can like listen to rain and it puts you in a mood? There's like this channel that started uploading like audio stuff, and the titles are like, the title of this one is "Your Parents Are Arguing Downstairs About Divorce While You're Crying While Mr. Brightside Plays." And it's this dude sitting in his room, and it sounds like he's gotten people to start arguing outside the door. And it's literally what the title is. Oh, hang on. Let me get, that was a fucking ad. I need to get YouTube Red, man. Alright, this is what it is. I don't know if you can hear me, but it's just like Mr. Brightside playing, and you hear like a hectic argument outside. And this shit has fucking like almost 2 million views. I mean, I've never experienced that because my parents have like a healthy relationship, but all of these comments made me so sad. Like, all these people are like, oh, this brings me back to my childhood. I'm like, oh, I literally did this. I listened to Mr. Brightside while my parents fucking screamed about how much they hated each other. And it's like this weird as fucking new genre of video. There's this one that he's uploaded, says, "You're playing Pokemon Silver in the backseat on a car trip while the only exception plays." It's so weird. It's just like I don't know what it is. It's almost like nostalgia ASMR, where people just try and create audio environments that take you back to your childhood. It's fucking really cool, I guess. So funny. But anyway, guys, I really hurt myself at the fucking gym. And even worse than that, my girlfriend doesn't understand 3D gravity, so I think I'm going to have to break up with her because I can't deal with someone who's that much less intelligent than me. Oh man, I saw the funniest shit. I was coming home from a gig, because I've been doing a lot of stand-up recently. I was coming home from a gig, and fuck man, it was funny. So what happened, I was on Chapel Street, which is like a nightlife thing. I think it was a Friday or a Thursday night. I don't know, there was some clubbing people walking around. It was like 11 p.m. So people were like going to clubs, pissed in the street, all that kind of shit. And I'm walking home. And I was walking to the station. And I was in front of a group of like maybe 6 gay dudes just out in the town. 6 young gay dudes just talking, and it was like the most stereotypical, like it was the kind of shit where if I wrote this into a TV series, the stuff they were talking about, I would be called homophobic and stereo. I'd be told that I'm stereotyping shit. They were literally talking about the cutest dog breed, and they got down to like a real gay dog, like a Frenchie bulldog, and then they were talking about how one of them has a Frenchie bulldog called Anastasia, and they were all saying, "Oh my god, that's the best name for a Frenchie bulldog, Anastasia," and they're all laughing. They were having a great night, obviously, whatever, right? And then fucking 100 meters down the road, because it's a really long road, Chapel Street. 100 meters down the street, that you just start hearing, fucking dog gut, like just anger, rage, right? And it's these 2 lads, and there's 2 different kinds of lad, right? There's like 16. No, it goes from 14 to 20-year-old lads, and that's a great time period to be a lad. If you're a lad after 20, you also become an ice addict. And there's no other path for you. It's like if you hit 21 and you're still wearing polo shirts, Nautica shorts, and Nike Air Max, and you have a rat's tail and you wear those Nike hats and shit, you're going to do ice. It's a fact. You're either going to try it or you're already on it. Because otherwise you snap out of it and you become like a pseudo lad. See, that's what I did, right? I was a bit of a lad when I was fucking 18, 19. Now I just wear the shoes or the hat or the belt. You know what I mean? Like I wear one item of clothing. But if you're still dressed in all of it past 20, you're gonna do ice. The only reason why I'm not wearing ice, I might be wearing the fucking lad Gucci hat now, but I'm not also wearing shorts and a polo. If I was wearing all 3 of them, you better believe it'd be the Spearhead Sundays podcast on ice. And I'm not talking Disney on ice where you can charge $150 for a ticket to see Mickey Mouse fall over in his fucking costume because it's unbalanced. I'm talking like just heated up the spoon ice. And it was those, they're like 30 something, right? So dirty ice lads. And it's so funny, I see this all the time at Oz Rap gigs, these kinds of lads, and they're so funny because they stick together, as groups do, you know, groups stick together, but when they're like 30 and they've done the drugs, sometimes they just have rages. And especially when they're with their mates who are clearly friends with them for years, their friends just go, "Oh, fucking Damo's on a rage again." And what they do is, while Damo rages, his friend just drops back a couple of paces just so he doesn't cop the rage, and he just lets Damo just lets him rage it out, right? So Damo's having a rage, his friend is a couple of paces back, being reasonable, and just letting him yell it out, right? And this guy's walking down the street going, "Fucking dog, fucking cunt, fucking piss dog cunt," just swearing at no one in particular, right? And these 6 gay dudes are talking about their Frenchie bulldog Anastasia, and I'm like, oh, here we go. These 2 demographics are going to collide. This is going to be great, right? So, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen, right? I'm just walking behind this group of gay dudes, just waiting to see what happens when these 2 universes cross paths. Will it create 3D gravity? Who knows? So this dude's like raging. These 6 gay dudes are talking about the best name for a Frenchie Bulldog, which is Anastasia. And as they pass, the lad that's raging just like jumps at the group and he goes, "Fucking dog cunt!" And then all 6 of the guys go, "Woo!" It was the funniest. All of them just went, "Woo!" At the same time. I was like, "Fucking dog!" Woo! And they all just like screamed like giddy girls. And then he just walked and they kept going and then they were like, "Woo, woo, woo." It was just like really good to see 2 demographics that would normally never meet just cross paths in a really aggressive but feminine way at the same time. And that's what, you know, being a human's all about, bringing us all together, right? Damo got to have a fucking rage and all those dudes got to go, "Woo, woo." It was great. Really made me feel good about my night. Because I wasn't on ice and I don't have a fucking Frenchie Bulldog called Anastasia. Alright, what else do you want to talk about here? Nah. Alright, let's do miscellaneous bit at the end, shall we? I don't know if you guys can hear the rain. If you can, I'm sorry. Getting very rainy. But, plus side is, it's not fucking, flooding my warehouse, which is great. So, if you don't know, guys, miscellaneous bit at the end is the worst part of the podcast. It's the part of the podcast where I answer questions sent in by listeners. If you need any life advice, if you have any questions, or if you have a story that you think I would enjoy, please do give me an email at podcast@loosespears.com. Summarise it in the subject line, and if I think it's amusing enough, or you can get something out of it, I'll fucking read it out. Alright. So, this one, the single advantage of Android phones. It just says, if a school shooter runs into a room and yells, "Hey Siri," but you have an Android. Oh, fuck off, Siri. I hate that, dude. Whenever that's the one thing that's annoying about why the fuck does my laptop have Siri? Right? It's good on my phone. I go, "Hey Siri, what's the weather today?" But then my fucking laptop starts going, "Oh, I can tell you as well," and then they both go off at the same time. I need to rename one. I'm going to call my phone Siri and this one Dumb Cunt. Oh, hey, Dumb Cunt, never say a word. Okay. That ruined that email. If a school shooter ran into a room and yelled, "Hey Siri," no one would hear. Your phone wouldn't go off. No, man, because phones have voice ID. iPhones, so even if another voice yells it out, your phone wouldn't go off. So, just another reason why iPhones are better. Alright, next email. I have no faith in my ability. Oh, we got a little positive one to kick things off, do we? Hey Jazz, do you want to join me for miscellaneous bit at the end?
Sure.
And we'll get Jazzy in on this one. This audio is going to be fucked because I only have one microphone, so I'm going to be, every time Jazz comes on, I'm going to switch to the audio that's on the camera. Alright, this one's from girl! How are you, Jazz? Welcome to the podcast.
Oh, thanks for having me on, Lewis.
That's okay. You don't need to worry about the microphone. This one's picking up.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But I'm still going to keep this here. Makes me look professional. I have no faith in my abilities, from a lady. Hey Lewis, I need some advice for miscellaneous bit at the end. I've just finished high school and I've always wanted to be an author. I've been writing short stories anonymously online for a few years and I've racked in about 80,000 reads. Oh dude, that's crazy.
Well done.
80,000 reads. Dude, I'm not reading any fucking short stories online. No way. So for you to get, I feel like that's not a very popular thing that people do. So you must be good if you're racking in that much shit. Or maybe she's writing sexy fan fiction about like Pokemon cartoons or something.
Could be.
Could be. I assume you're not. I've racked in around 80,000 reads in that time and now I want to write a full-length novel. However, I have no faith in my ideas or writing skills. Well, idiot, 80,000 people do. For the past 2 years, I had a piece of shit English teacher who pretty much only told me I had nothing and didn't bother teaching me how to get better. Pair that with severe anxiety and depression issues, I no longer have any confidence in the story idea I've been working on for a long time. I also think that my writing is worse than Tommy Wiseau's acting, and I can't seem to convince myself otherwise. Well, already, just from your writing in this email, you're funny. I really want this writing thing to work out because there isn't much else I enjoy doing, but I can't stop believing that I have no creative individuality or skill whatsoever. I also feel like my stories are pointless and I'm not bringing anything new to fiction. I'm emailing you to ask if you have any tips for being confident in your work, believing in your skill, and digesting good ideas from bad ones. Any advice would be much appreciated. I think, I'm not going to say her name, I think, Michelle, that you are putting way too much pressure on yourself for someone who's never written a book. I think you should do what I did when I wrote my first comedy show, or my first jokes, and I was like, this is probably, by the numbers, going to be shit, but I'm going to put in as much fucking effort as I can, and maybe, even if this first thing turns out shit, I will learn a lot of things to be able to write the next one, which won't be shit. Go and be shit, man. Otherwise, how are you going to get good? Are you going to get good at writing without writing? No. So go and write and make a shitty book. See what people think. Fuck your English teacher. He's never achieved anything in life. If a teacher is discouraging children from being creative, they are just a bitter person who never made it in their field. There's a lot of great teachers out there who love teaching, but there's a lot of shit teachers out there who are teaching because they never made it. And they're like, oh, I have all these skills, I've got to do something with them.
Yeah, if you're 18, you're not meant to be good at anything. Yeah, that's normal.
Yeah, fuck yeah. When have you ever read a good book by an 18-year-old?
You know, and the only person expecting you to be good is you. And then it is something, it's really just an internal battle that you have to fight to overcome that. Because you're the only one who's going to be stopping yourself from writing this book. Writing this novel is completely up to you. Either you're going to decide to do it and then you do it, or you're not going to be able to do it because you're sitting there thinking about how bad it possibly might be. Well, surely a novel that never exists because you didn't write it is worse than your best, shittiest first attempt.
Fuck yeah. And also, nobody wants you to write a book because you haven't written anything yet. Why would anyone want you to write anything? No one knows if you can write or if you're any good. Before I started comedy, no one wanted me to do it. No one was like, oh fuck, I can't wait for the first Lewis Spears video. No one asked me to do it. No one thought I would bring anything completely unique to the scene because I hadn't started. You probably won't bring anything unique to fiction with your first book. I didn't bring anything unique to YouTube with my first video. I didn't bring anything unique to stand-up with my first joke. My first joke was just about jacking off. There's a million of those jokes out there, but it was pretty good.
Yeah, originality is something that comes with time, with creative pursuits. You don't get original to start with. It's pretty much everything you make when you start is pretty much a carbon copy of someone else's because you're just trying to figure out how it would work if you did it. But then you start to get a feel for it.
At the end of the day, learning, that's what learning is. You copy ideas from other people. That's what learning is. Someone goes, oh, 2 + 2 is 4. And you go, alright, 2 + 2 is 4 because someone else told me that it is. There's no reason why that's the answer. It's just collectively humans have decided that's the idea we're going to believe in.
But you should also have faith that over time, if you do something over time, you will improve. If you put consistent effort towards it, you will improve. That's just the promise of practice, is that, you know, you put effort in. And do you know how many free hours we have in a day? I've learned this recently because I've quit watching Netflix entirely. I don't watch anything unless I watch a movie with Lewis. There are so many free hours between working and study. If you're doing uni or anything, you've probably got like 3 hours a day that you can just dedicate towards learning and practicing.
I'll tell you right now, this is the best written email I've gotten in the last fucking 8 months. I mean, that's not saying much. You're basically king of the retards at the moment. But, you know what I mean? Like, you took the time to sit down and write fucking, 3 paragraphs? Why don't you write 3 paragraphs about an alien or whatever kind of fiction you write? Just do that. Be shit. Who cares? No, because you have no fans, no one's asking you to write stuff, so there's no pressure. Write something, be shit, put it out there, someone will like it. You've already got 80,000 people reading your stuff at 18. That's incredible. Obviously you're good, otherwise why would that many people read your shit? Stop being anonymous, put your fucking name on it, and just put shit out there. Listen to podcasts about how to write. If you had a shit teacher, don't listen to podcasts.
Don't give a fuck about what your teacher said. Like, you'll learn pretty quickly that that person will never have another say in your entire life, and they were probably wrong anyway. And
you'll never see them again.
Even worst case, let's say they were right and your writing sucks. It doesn't matter, because hard work beats talent. I mean, if you want to do it and then you put a lot of effort into it and practice, you're going to get to be a good writer. You don't have to have faith in it now. Just have faith that your practice will get you there.
Hard work beats talent every time. Some of the most talented people in the comedy industry, they won't make it, or they've already quit because they like drugs more, or they just don't work very hard.
Like, he's not very naturally funny.
I knew you were going to go there.
He's just not naturally funny, not naturally smart, not naturally...
Fuck off. You don't, just because you don't understand 3D gravity doesn't mean you can just come on here and shit on me.
But look, he's doing really well because he works harder than anyone else. He puts every spare moment into this because this is his dream and his passion. I mean, you weren't exactly a funny guy when you started.
I was definitely a dickhead, but I don't think I was hilarious. I still don't think... you know what? I'm not hilarious when I'm not on stage. You know?
Oh, you're pretty funny these days.
Well, yeah, actually, you know what? These days, I guess I'm pretty funny, but I put...
Not objectively funny,
I put every waking moment into learning how to be funny at all times. That's part of the reason why I did this podcast, because it forced me to sit down and be like, I'm going to be funny for an hour. I have no audience. I have not rewritten anything other than like 8 dot points about what happened through the week. And I think my podcast, if you listen to the first couple of episodes, it's way funnier now than it used to be. It's way better because I know what I'm doing. And if I was like, oh, does the world really need another podcast? Or am I going to bring anything new to the podcasting world? Fuck no, I wasn't. And I don't really think I'm bringing anything particularly unique to the podcasting world now. I mean, I think it's funny and you should keep listening. Fuck off. But
you look really hurt.
If I was thinking like you're thinking, I never would have started this shit. I never would have got on stage. I never would have done a video, because at the end of the day, if you've never done something, no, you're not going to bring anything unique to it, and you're not going to be very good. But also, you'll never have the opportunity to bring something unique. Sitting on your ass and waiting for the revolutionary idea to just hit you will never happen. Do it, be shit, and then one day you won't be. Alright? I want to see that book on my desk by Monday.
But wait, don't move on.
And stop publishing shit anonymously. You're not doing yourself any favours. Because if you do that and you do the anonymous thing, one day you'll write a fucking amazing short story, it'll go crazy viral, and no one will ever know that you wrote it. Why are you doing that for? You're shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah, even if you used an assumed name, it should at least be tracked back to the same author.
Oh yeah, if you're like, by anonymous you mean you have a pseudonym and it all comes back to one place. That's sweet, but don't just, I don't know.
But also, if you have depression and anxiety, then just tap into that. It's a great artistic motivator. So just don't be so afraid of it. I think we're so afraid of being depressed and being anxious because it's horrible. Like, it's a horrible state to be in. But sometimes you just have to realize it's like you're sad and that's okay, and just use that. I mean, obviously do everything that you can to improve your life if that is your life, but then sometimes just know that it's okay that you're struggling. That's okay, that's normal. I mean, depression and anxiety is so common these days. It's actually increased so much in society because of many reasons. There's a really good book, if anyone's interested in reading it, called Lost Connections, by Johan Hari about depression and anxiety and the social and psychological causes. I would say read that book if anyone wants to understand their depression and anxiety.
I'm going to read that. It sounds very interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
just use it to motivate you artistically.
There's a could be a chance that the reason why you're feeling a little bit depressed is because you're not letting yourself do what you clearly want to do as well. I think, dare I say, doing what you want to do might make you a little bit happier. Alright, write your fucking book. Okay, we'll do this one. Hey Lewis, my name's Russell. Ever since I haven't read this one yet. Ever since I was little, I've been forced to go to my dad's, where I hate everything about it there, for roughly half the time. And my dad always yells at me when I try and talk about it. I'm finally old enough now, and I have the balls, and I'm ready to talk to him about it. Christmas is coming up, and I'm supposed to go there for 3 weeks all at once. While I'm there, he forces me to go everywhere with him, and I have next to no freedom, and it gets to the point where I get depressed, and I have even seriously considered suicide. How do I tell him that I don't want to come here these holidays without him getting too mad? Thanks, Russell. I mean, you've given me no context. It just sounds like you don't want to hang out with your dad, but I don't know how much of a cunt your dad is. From this email, it sounds like you could be the arsehole, or he could be.
Can I just say, you've titled it "Getting Forced into Unwanted Situations."
Makes it sound like your dad's raping you, bro.
Yeah, it sounds like there's some rape going on there.
I hope he's not raping you. He forces me to go everywhere with him. What is he, fucking raping you in the fruit aisle of the supermarket?
I think this guy sounds really young.
Yeah.
I know it says you've said that you're old enough now, but that probably means something around, what, like 14, 15?
Well, yeah, if you're old enough now, you would just not go. I don't know, dude. Sounds like you might need some leisurely activities at your dad's house.
Yeah, I suppose try and find things that you could be interested in. But you definitely... What's the question that he's exactly
How do I tell him
asking?
that I don't want to go there these holidays without him getting too mad?
That's kind of an impossible question. Like, Lewis can't solve everything. You can't just send Lewis a question and
how do I make 3D
magically
gravity
fix my life. You can't.
Yeah.
Maybe you and your dad are just at a point, like, in adolescence,
Sounds like you're just a teenager, bro.
Yeah, you're just at a point where you and your dad are going to be fighting. Like, Lewis can't change the custody agreements that your parents have. He can't improve the relationship you have with your father.
I would say it sounds like, from your... Look, I don't know anything about your situation because you haven't written it down in your fucking email, but it sounds like, from the email, it doesn't sound like you're particularly trying to make the relationship better either. Have you tried doing things that your dad likes?
But you don't know what that relationship's like.
That's true. He could be raping you in the fruit aisle of the supermarket.
I think you would have put that in the email.
That's true. It's an obscure place to rape someone, the fruit aisle of the supermarket.
It's very public.
You'd think that someone would be like, oh no, not next to the pawpaws.
Pawpaw ointment?
At least do it in the medicine aisle. There's condoms and lube there.
Oh, gross, Lewis. You're not even funny.
Don't get cum on the pineapples.
This is what I'm saying about Lewis not being very talented.
Hey, you're fucking ruined. This is a great comedic through line.
I don't know. Just maybe know that just being a teenager sucks for a lot of people, and you just have to get through it. Like you'll be fine.
I feel like if it was actually really bad, you might say something specific. It sounds like you just don't have a very good relationship with him. Maybe try and fucking build one.
But, you know, it's not up to the child, because I didn't have a very happy relationship with my parents. It's not always something that you can just build a happy relationship. Like, if the structure and the foundation from the parents' part isn't there. Like, you can try, but then at some point it's just not going to work. Maybe just try focus on things that will make you happy. Like, take a book hobby.
There. Or fucking... Yeah. A lot of my friends who had divorced parents who hated hanging out with one parent... It's because it was generally the one that had no money, meaning there was no fucking activities there. Maybe, do you actually hate your dad, or is there just nothing to do at his house?
Or they don't live in the area near their friends.
Yeah.
So then they feel really bored. So maybe, I would say probably if you're old enough...
I've got it, right? This chick needs to write a book so that this cunt can read it at his dad's house. Alright? Solved!
I had a real idea.
Well, that's a real idea.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it won't
that's
ever
a
happen,
real
but it is
idea.
an idea.
But it was a very final idea. I wasn't finished.
Okay, right, fine, go.
I was just going to say that,
Look at it. Look at this chick with the fucking serious answers trying to help people who email.
well, I don't want to just be like, oh, child rape. I'm
In
a
the
comedian.
fruit aisle, I didn't just joke about child rape, I also
You
gave
joke
it
about
a...
child rape all the time.
Yeah, but I put it at weird locations, so that's quite funny.
Oh, do you hear about Cardinal Pell?
Can I even talk about this? Isn't it illegal to talk about it?
Is this media? We can't talk about it.
I don't give a fuck. Cardinal Pell has been convicted of raping children in another country, and people in Australia don't know about that because it's under a suppression order, so the media's not allowed to report on it. But Cardinal Pell has been convicted for raping children because he's a fucking pedophile.
That's funny comedy.
I might go to jail for that.
Yeah, should you edit that out? You might go to jail. Like,
Well, now I'm nervous.
yeah.
It felt good to say, though.
It did feel good to say. Yeah, fucking child molester.
Hey, you know what?
Kitty fiddler.
I am going to edit that out just to
Yeah.
protect myself because
Yeah.
I feel like now that I have a job in radio, I am in media.
Yeah.
But what I can say is if you get a VPN or if you're outside of Australia, you can Google Cardinal Pell and find out that he raped children and has been convicted of raping children because he's a fucking pedophile. But you can't hear that on my podcast because it's under a suppression order and it's illegal to say that.
Okay. But this kid, just talk to your dad and tell him that you don't want to go over with him. Just, like, you can't not go there, but just talk to your dad, like, and guess what, mate? Your life's not that bad. Like,
At least you have a dad who wants to hang out with you, dude.
I know that it
I'd rather
feels like
a
it's the end
boring
of the
parent
world
than a guy
right
who
now,
rapes me in the
but-
fruit aisle of the supermarket.
Cardinal Pal. But, like, you know, your life's not that bad. Like, sometimes we just need a bit of perspective. Like, you're gonna get through this. It's just 3 weeks at your dad's house. Maybe just read up on the conflict diamonds in Africa and World War II for a bit and get some perspective and, like, realize that, hey,
Maybe it's not that
I'm
bad.
gonna be okay. Like, I'm resilient enough to deal with 3 weeks at my dad's house.
Alright, that's the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening. Have a Merry Christmas, you fucking cunts.
Yeah.
What is that, next week?
It's Tuesday, Lewis.
Yeah, have a Merry Christmas. Thanks for listening. All the Luke and Lewis podcasts are filmed and up on the channel, and videos will be dropping once a week. I've got another Lou review coming out soon because I'm not having a break over Christmas. And if you want to see me live, louspears.com/giglist. If you're outside of Australia, watch my comedy special. Alright, cunts. Goodbye. Have a shit one.
Have a shit one.